In a completely chaotic moment during Donald Trump's failed meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, Trump explodes at reporter Peter Alexander and threatens to have him investigated after he asks Trump about the reports that he's keeping the damn $400 million 747 from Qatar. Arguably one of the most insane moments of Trump's second term so far. Take a look at this.
Okay.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, you got to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing. They also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment.
Remember that that's a lie.
In addition to the jet. Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead.
Trump cannot control himself. He just can't. He is an authoritarian through and through. He wants to be dictator. He wants to determine what questions he's asked and when he's asked them. And he's the one who determines what counts as valid journalism. And by the way, what counts as valid journalism is questions like, can you tell me all the ways in which you're so much better than every Democratic president? That's the sort of question that Trump wants to be asked. In the same meeting, a reporter asks Trump, can you explain why you're allowing white Afrikaners here when other refugees have had all of their protected status revoked? And Trump goes, this is fake news.
Any questions, please?
Mr. President, we've welcomed white Afrikaner refugees here. Can you explain to
This is the same reporter, I should be clear. It's Peter Alexander.
Americans why it's appropriate to welcome white Afrikaners here when other refugees like Afghans, Venezuelans, Haitians have all had their protected status revoked?
Well, this is a group, NBC, that is truly fake news. They ask a lot of questions in a very pointed way. They're not questions, they're statements.
And of course, pointed questions are questions. They might be questions you don't like. You could take issue with the framing. You could take issue with what the premises of the question are. But journalism involves answering pointed questions, and Trump just doesn't like it. You know, what's interesting to see here is that Trump truly, you see the real Trump in these moments. He doesn't like what the South African president is saying to him, having the audacity to say, what you're telling me about white genocide is not true. He doesn't like the questions that he's being asked. And he becomes this dark, dystopian authoritarian that you just know is on the verge of cracking and exploding. And he did, saying, we got to investigate this NBC News thing. This is the real Trump, an angry, of course, self-centered and narcissistic guy, but he's an angry, dark person. And you really see it come through in these situations. What a humiliating event for the United States and for anyone watching, really, just so embarrassing. On the bonus show today, we will talk about Jake Tapper's controversial book about the alleged cover-up of the decline of Joe Biden. Jake Tapper doing some interesting interviews over the last few days that I want to discuss and go over with you. We are now seeing yet another major retailer. Last week it was Walmart. This week it's Target, saying we are issuing a warning about what's happening economically and what to expect from 2025. Retail is a very interesting sector in terms of what it tells us about the broader economy. And finally, Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, says that Canada is in talks to join the Golden Dome defense system proposed by Donald Trump. All of those stories and more on today's bonus show. I would love for you to get the bonus show. You can do it instantly by signing up at joinpacman.com. This goes directly to support independent media. You know, if you don't like this show, support a different one. But we should be supporting the shows we value and like, because we are up against it, both when it comes to this administration and corporate media dollars. So I would love for you to become a member of the David Pakman Show. If there's other progressive independent shows you like more, well, subscribe to those if they have such a mechanism. But we do need to build the ecosystem, and direct support, I think, is the best way to do it. We'll see you on the bonus show. I'll be back here tomorrow with a brand new program. So many different VPNs reach out to me wanting to advertise on the show, and I always turn them down because most of them do not pass the sniff test. Most VPNs are all owned by the same big mysterious company. They log your internet activity so they can sell it or give it to law enforcement. And these VPNs are just out to make a buck without really protecting your privacy. The only VPN I trust enough to have as a sponsor is Private Internet Access. Our sponsor, Private Internet Access, is the only VPN who has proven multiple times in legal proceedings they don't keep logs of your activity. The judge ordered that PIA show user activity history. Each time they demonstrated they don't have the records. That no log policy is also independently audited by Deloitte. And PIA is also open source. So you can also see in the code that none of your activity is being logged. And you can protect unlimited devices with just a single account. Private Internet Access is giving my audience 83% off, which is just $203 a month, plus 4 extra months for free. Go to piavpn.com/Pakman. The link is down below.